Bank On It podcast 2019, recording from beautiful downtown Pikeville where it's 50 degrees at the end of January. Not too bad. We're brought to you always by the Appalachian newspapers, and with me is the regional sports editor, Randy White. That's 2 weeks in a row. I've nailed that. I just want to point that out. 3 weeks in a row. Super proud of that. Cory Vance on the production. Welcome back to another episode. And we want to first start off giving a shout out to our sponsors, Dr. Shane Hensley. Every athlete knows a good smile builds confidence. Dr. Shane Hensley at Downtown Dental in Pikeville can help build that confidence. Visit Dr. Hensley at 419 Town Mountain Road or call 433-1488 and score the perfect smile. Thank you to Dr. Hensley.
Yeah, we're also brought to you by Presbyterian Homes Good Shepherd. Presbyterian Homes Good Shepherd is a long-term care facility located in Phelps, Kentucky. They're offering skilled nursing services, therapy services, daily enriching activities, chaplain services, weekly housekeeping and laundry, an attractive dining area where menu options are offered to meet all dietary needs, all provided in a home-like environment. Call today for questions or to schedule a tour, 606-456-8725.
The Bank On It podcast is also brought to you by Presbyterian Homes on Cedar Creek. It's an assisted living facility in Pikeville, Kentucky that provides delicious dining, meaningful activities, thoughtful amenities, holistic health care, assistance with activities of daily living. It's in a serene setting. This is a beautiful place. I drive by it on my way to work every day, and it's faith-based and nonprofit. Call Executive Director Jessica Thacker to schedule a tour at 606-432-8243.
We're also brought to you this week by City Tire and Auto Center. City Tires just moved. Go visit the new location at 110 Freddie Lane, right off South Mail Trail, directly across from Pikeville, Florida. Call 437-3005. I drive by there every day as well. Those guys are some good guys. I had them plug a tire for me a couple of months ago. Yeah. So go check those guys out. The new place is always busy, so thanks again, City Tire.
And it's a local business, so give them some support. Those are some great guys over at City Tire. Had some right into high school basketball, so obviously the big thing was the Pikeville Shelby Valley rematch from the All-A championship game.
Just a couple of days apart. I mean, the championship was on a Sunday. They played last Tuesday for the rematch. That one was at Pikeville. You know, that kicked off a crazy week of sports this week for us locally. Pikeville, they pulled out a 65-62 overtime win against Shelby Valley to kind of bring that even in the regular season matchup. Shelby Valley's won 2 of the games against Pikeville. Every time it seems like whoever has the ball last or a play here or there is going to decide. I mean, that's how competitive these two teams are. I mean, any little thing there can cause one of these teams to win. And at that game, Kyle Watkins happened to hit the big game-winning 3, which – was huge for Pikeville.
Yeah, and going into overtime off of the All-A championship game where it almost went overtime, came down to the Keem Works runner to end the game. But, I mean, those back-to-back games, just an intense rivalry right now between Pikeville and Shelby Valley.
Yeah, and it's always going to be that way because they're so close. They're district rivals. Yeah. They're both competing not just for district titles but for region titles as well. So, you got two good teams who are so close in the same district, a lot like Paintsville and Johnson Central as well. I mean, to me, that's your 4 teams in this region right now who's really got the best chances of, the way they're playing basketball right now. And, being so close is the key. I mean, and these teams see each other 3, 4, 5 times a year. So
yeah, and let me just vouch for anybody who hasn't been out. I haven't been in the area for years, and getting back out into the high school basketball, it's so much fun watching these kids compete, man. I mean, I had such a great time at the All-A tournament, and seeing these guys going back-to-back like that, playing so close to a super emotional game for them at the All-A championship, and then to turn around and play each other again 3 days later.
Just a couple of days later. I mean, that's just the competitiveness there. I mean, and give it to Shelby Valley. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a second, but they had a lot of games in just a few days, and they put better back-to-back performances. But after that Shelby Valley game, Shelby Valley Pikeville game, Wednesday came around. That was Paintsville's girls' night to play in the All-A. They came out and played really well in the first half. Second half, the basket kind of dried out for them. They only scored 11 points in the second half, but I mean they went down there and had a great performance as well. Anna Keaton, Elizabeth Williams, Swoop as she's known. I mean they had a great showing. Clara Clara Blair. I mean, Paintsville had a shot to win that one. They just kind of ran out of gas in the second half, and the baskets kind of tightened up. It was just one of those games against a good team. That just kind of happens. West Carter's, they're a top team in the state for a reason.
Well, and getting down there on the big stage and just playing in an unfamiliar gym, that can have a huge effect on some of these young athletes that go down there. But the Paintsville girls went down there, represented the 15th region well, had several players that had good games, as you said, Claire Blair and Anna Keaton, both with 13 points in that game. So good showing by the Paintsville girls. Obviously, I'm sure they would have liked to have done a little better, but they represented the 15th region well in a hard-fought game, and props to them for getting down there and winning all that.
Yeah, my last thoughts on this one is Coach Les Trimble, who's just a great guy, great coach, outstanding person. Before after winning region, his quote was, "Well, we can probably beat 12 of these teams down here. West Carter may not be one of those teams." And he knew, going into it, it was going to be a tough challenge. And in the first half, they were right there. I think it was a 2-point game at halftime. So they just kind of ran out of gas in that second half.
Well, West Carter 18-3 on the season. I mean, that was just one of those things. It was just luck of the draw. They ended up getting a team that was a bad matchup for them, and we've seen it happen before. And it was unfortunate they didn't get away with the win, but a good showing by the Paintsville girls. And then we already know the Shelby Valley boys went down to Richmond, and Cody Potter really put on a show.
Yeah, Cody Potter was the takeaway down there state. There's a lot of good players down there. UHA's KK Tandy. He's probably the top player in the state right now after some injuries to some other players, but right now he's probably the favorite to win Mr. Basketball. But Cody Potter was the story of everybody. Walton Verona's got a big 6'10" guy who's committed to Xavier.
Yeah.
Tandy's committed to Xavier. Just talent everywhere. But everybody was left at the end of the day talking about Cody Potter, and it all started Wednesday night when he hit 9 3-pointers to tie all-A classic record. He finished with 34 points, I think. I mean, the kid was just on fire.
That's unbelievable. And just looking at his shooting numbers, 11-20 from the field. 3 for 4 from the free throw line. This kid is lights out from the free throw line. We saw that all in the All-A tournament. And then, in support of him, it looks like, again, Cameron Works, Kean Works, both played really good games. Cameron Works, 13 points. And Shelby Valley was able to get away with a 66-63 win over Clinton County and move on. And it was same story, Cody Potter again.
Yeah, well, I mean, one last thing about Clinton County is, their kid Jackson Harlan, he's a 6'5" 2-guard, one of the state's best players. He's committed to Western Kentucky.
28 points.
Yeah, but you look at, the shooting, though. He's 10 for 31 from the field. Cody Potter was 11 from 20 for the field, 9 of 14 from 3 alone. So, I mean, Cody Potter just kind of showed what he could do, especially shooting the ball. Shelby Valley coach Jim Hicks, as you'll hear in some of these interviews coming up in our highlight section, says he's the best shooter he's ever seen. And, a lot of the talk around the All-A down there was, I've never seen a kid shoot the ball like that once he gets hot.
Well, he's got length, he's got size, and we've seen, before, he's fearless. He's not afraid to pull up. He's not afraid to take the shot. And, listen, the kid's got a really, really good game, and he's young. That's the thing, is we're going to get to see him for the rest of this year and then another whole senior year. So, big things coming from Cody Potter right here in the 15th region.
Yeah, and, Shelby Valley Friday night, second round of the All-A, they took on Danville, pulled out a 47-30 win. Shelby Valley's defense was the name of that game. Cody Potter hit some big threes, but it seemed like Samuel Stanley was the other key in that game. I mean, the kid just had a great game. He was always open, made a big play here or there. Orby McPeak had another big game, but I think Valley held them to 23% shooting of the game, only gave up 15 points in the first half, 15 points in the second half. So, I mean, the defense was the name of the game in that one.
Yeah, Samuel Stanley, just stat sheet stuffer, 13.5 offensive rebounds. I mean, he was really close, 1 point away from having a double-double. So he really went down there. And Cody Potter's more than likely going to get his. If he gets support from the rest of the guys on the team, this Shelby Valley team is going to be dangerous.
And they showed that they can play with anybody. And you look at this final game, University Heights is ranked as a top 5 team in the state. With right now, with some injuries, the kid from Pendleton County is out, and a couple other kids are out. But that being said, KK Tandy's the top player in the state, and Cody Potter just outshined him against UHA, especially in the first half. He hit 6 threes in the first half, had 22 points going into halftime. Shelby Valley had a 38-28 lead going into the half against University Heights. Second half, they struggled a bit. They couldn't score as much. Seemed like they really ran out of gas. 8 games in 10 days, and that was the effect.
Yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen anytime you play that many games, that many days. But, I mean, credit to Coach Hicks and Shelby Valley boys just coming out and fighting the whole way through. And, again, Cody Potter, 25 points, 8 rebounds. I mean, this kid is just lighting it up, 6 for 11 from three-point. I mean, and, University Heights, they got a lot of scoring. KK Tandy had 23. Mm-hmm. They had guys that were really out there and competing. And it was great to see Shelby Valley boys go down there and really represent the 15th region well.
Well, I think the biggest thing about this is, teams around here sometimes get overlooked because where we're located. They're not on the stage at with some of the Lexington teams.
And that's the way it's always been.
And that's part of the struggle here, Brett. But the big thing around here is now Cody Potter's got his name out there. Everybody out in the rest of the state knows what he's capable of. They know what Shelby Valley's capable of. They know what Pikeville's capable of. Johnson's. They know the 15th region has some good teams now. And I think, going forward, maybe next year this puts Cody Potter in the talk, of a Mr. Basketball candidate next year.
Well, I mean, I think this was probably, would you consider this his coming out party to the state?
To the state, I would say.
Yeah, I know you've known.
Yeah, I think everybody up here for the last 2 years have known that he's been really good. But, even this year, you and I have talked about, I've seen a transition from where his game was last year to this year. He's more mature. He knows how to come off the screens a little better. He knows how to handle the double and triple teams now. So I think, this is big for him on the state level. And, once the word gets out, he's just going to get more and more offers. I mean, Coach Hicks talked about, St. Louis looking at him and a couple other little colleges. So, I mean, he's definitely on the radar now.
Yeah, and in my opinion, he's going to get even more and more looks as time goes on, as his game develops. I mean, this kid is a junior in high school right now. So the sky's the limit for Cody Potter. He's definitely one of the nicest players I've seen from Eastern Kentucky in a long time. And anybody with size like that can shoot the way that he does is going to get some looks from some big schools.
Absolutely. Yeah, he just had a great performance the whole tournament. So, congrats to Cody Potter. I mean, congrats to Shelby Valley Coach Jim Hicks. Nothing to be ashamed of with a semifinal appearance.
Absolutely. Congrats to Coach Hicks and Shelby Valley boys. And stick around and check out the highlights from the All-A tournament in Richmond. All right, we want to say thank you right before you watch the highlights to our sponsors again. My guy, Dr. Shane Hensley. Every athlete knows a good smile builds confidence. Dr. Shane Hensley at Downtown Dental in Pikeville can help build confidence. Only at 419 Town Mountain Road or call 433-1488 and score the perfect smile.
Yeah, we're also brought to you this week by Presbyterian Homes Good Shepherd. Presbyterian Homes Good Shepherd is a long-term care facility located in Phelps, Kentucky. They offer skilled nursing services, therapy services, daily enriching activities, chaplain services, weekly housekeeping, and laundry. They also offer an attractive dining area where menu options are offered to meet all dietary needs, all provided in a home-like environment. Call today for questions or schedule a tour at 606-456-8725.
We are also brought to you by Presbyterian Homes on Cedar Creek. It's an assisted living facility in Pikeville, Kentucky, providing delicious dining, meaningful activities, thoughtful amenities, holistic health care, assistance with daily living, serene setting. It is faith-based and nonprofit. Call Executive Director Jessica Thacker to schedule a tour at 606-432-8243.
Yeah, we're also brought to you by City Tire and Auto Center. City Tire has moved. They go visit their new location at 110 Freddie Lane, right off South Mail Trail, directly across from Pikeville Floral, or call 437-3005. Again, thanks again to City Tire and Auto Center.
was definitely a game of runs. Felt like we come out, took the first hit, and got up 7 or 8 a little bit early. Like you said, they come back and they make a run, but we tried to speed the game up a little bit today, and try to get a few more easy buckets. So instead of playing all that slow down half court, and just try to get a little different look out of it. When you do things like that, you are going to have runs. They're going to have runs. Yep. You got to be able to handle them, keep your composure, and just kind of fight through it. So I was extremely proud of my guys. Thought they fought all night. They didn't get down. When they made a run, went up 8 or 9, we kept our heads. We come down, hit a shot, get a stop. Yeah. And so just that's probably the toughest that my guys have played all year. Yeah, and the last 2 we felt like we should have won, honestly, and that last tonight and the one in the hallway, both of them come down to the last second shot, so that's that's tough, and just glad to see that my guys found a way to finish a close one like this, and and to knock them off after they beat us twice, and get a little confidence, because we're hoping to see these guys again, and use that going forward. Yeah, this was a great atmosphere tonight, probably the best that we played in all year, honestly. The gym was packed, fans were going crazy, and, so I think everybody was just so hyped to start the game. They was playing so hard, getting a lot of, quick fouls, and, we just kind of had to settle down and, and settle into the flow of the game a little bit. And but, yeah, we felt like mixing it up, kind of gave them a few different looks and caused them to struggle a little bit.
Basically, they're good.
Yeah.
They're really good. Defensively, they got after us.
Yeah.
We got kind of frustrated, took some bad shots.
Yeah.
And when you have misses, it kind of wears on you when you keep missing.
Yeah.
Defensively, you get kind of soft. And
yeah.
So it kind of snowballed on us. Oh yeah, I mean, we're a pretty good team. When we shoot the ball and we get kids playing hard defensively. When shots go in, you play a little harder on the defensive end. So, we were scoring and we were on our toes defensively and made some steals and rebounded the ball a little bit better. But, that was for a half.
Yeah.
Play 4 quarters. Yeah, you hope so. This is a good experience coming down here and playing on this floor. It's a lot of fun for the girls. I'm proud of them. I don't have anything negative to say about the way we played today. It's just hats off to West Carter. They're good. I expect them to go on and maybe get to the Final Four. They're really good.
Not a Mr. Basketball contender for next year. I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big time player, guys, and he's a great kid, and he does so much more than just shoot the ball. He passes the ball, he rebounds the ball. he's matured and grown up so much, and I'm just really, really blessed and glad I'm getting the opportunity to coach him. I can't say enough stuff about my team and how we're just, every game, we're growing up. You know, we made some adjustments at halftime, and we come out after the half and did what we needed to do. We rebounded better. We played better defense. We made some adjustments with their run and jump. I mean, you're guarding the Harlan kid, and he's already signed with Western. You know, he's a heck of a player. So we wanted to take the ball out of his hands, and the kids executed that really well. And we were in control most of the second half. They tied it up, but you know, Seth and Zach come in and gave us really good minutes. And you know, I can't say enough about these young men. They refuse to lose, and they battle, and they're a really close-knit bunch. And I tell people all the time, you know, the biggest thing that people miss about Cody Potter is he's not a selfish player. He's all about his team, and he showed that tonight. I mean, kid was hotter than a firecracker, and he gave up the ball to his teammates for better shots. And you know, and that's you know, that's what he does. You know, he wants to win. I mean, you know, when you play a Clinton County team, you know what people don't understand about that is you got Todd Messer, who's a very good basketball coach, who cut his teeth under Bobby Keith, a legend, and that's the Clay County system that you saw out there tonight. That's the way Clay County played over the years, and our system is I cut my teeth under Billy Hicks, so that's the Sky County, and that right there, you know, two great high school basketball teams going head to head, and you know, gosh, they're a physical bunch, and but I can't say enough about my kids and how resilient they were and how tough they were down the stretch.
Yeah, well, that was a huge team win. We got two or three guys that fouled out, and the bench really just rallied and gave us a spark, and they played as hard as they could. And, oh yeah, every time you see the ball going in, it just gets you in a rhythm, and whenever I see that first one go in, I know I'm going to hit all kinds more. Oh yeah, I love when I see them all coming at me because I know somebody's open, and I love hitting my open teammate and getting them an easy shot. It's the best feeling in the world.
with our kids is we played 8 ball games in 10 days, and I don't know where those kids got the energy from. I really don't. I mean, they played hard. They played as hard today as they did yesterday, and and I can't say enough about them. I'm proud of them, and we just come up a little short. University Heights is a heck of a team. They're not the number 1 team in all of Western Kentucky, and a top 5 team in Kentucky for no reason. And we beat them. We beat them for about 2.5, 3 quarters, and then they. I don't know if our kids run out of gas a little bit or what, but our kids have played 8 games in 10 days, and I'm proud of them. University Heights come out in the 3rd quarter and played really aggressive defense, and I thought it was a little too physical. I mean, a little too we had 2 or 3 kids over there bleeding. So, but referees didn't call it, and that is what it is. And but our kids have to do a better job responding to that and be stronger. And but they're a good basketball team. I'm not taking anything away from University Heights.
Yeah.
They came out and played real physical and aggressive and made some big plays and some big shots.
Yeah.
And that's why KK Tandy's the number 1 player in Kentucky. He made some big plays when he had to. Yeah, Cody's a special player. He's one of the best players in Kentucky. That's a fact. And he makes everybody around him better. His teammates, he makes his teammates better. And but we've got to take this. We got to learn from it. We've got to get some rest. We got to take a couple days off, and then we've got to get back into back in the gym and get to practice. And because now we've got another big one coming up. In about 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks, and so it'll be here before you know it.
All right, we'd like to say thank you again to Dr. Shane Hensley. Every athlete knows a good smile builds confidence. Dr. Shane Hensley at Downtown Dental in Pikeville can help build confidence. Visit Dr. Hensley at 419 Town Mountain Road or call 433-1488. Score the perfect smile. Dr. Hensley performs all dental work and most insurance is accepted.
We're also brought to you by Presbyterian Homes Good Shepherd. Presbyterian Homes Good Shepherd is a long-term care facility located in Phelps, Kentucky. They offer skilled nursing services, therapy services, daily enriching activities, chaplain services, weekly housekeeping and laundry, an attractive dining area where menu options are offered to meet all dietary needs, all provided in a home-like environment. Call today for questions or to schedule a tour at 606-456-8725.
We're also brought to you by Presbyterian Homes on Cedar Creek. It's an assisted living facility in Pikeville, Kentucky, providing delicious dining, meaningful activities, thoughtful amenities, holistic health care, assistance with daily activities of daily living, all in a serene setting. It is faith-based and nonprofit. Call Executive Director Jessica Thacker to schedule a tour at 606-432-8243.
We're also brought to you by City Tire and Auto Center. City Tire and Auto Center has moved. Go visit the new location at 110 Freddie Lane, right off South Mill Trail, directly across from Pikeville Floral. Call 437-3005. Thanks again to City Tire.
All right, moving right into, I guess, the biggest game of the weekend for us in Big Blue Nation was the game against Kansas at Rupp Arena. And, man, listen, the first 10 minutes of that game, I think we talked about this a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to watch, but Kentucky came out of it, especially in the second half. P.J. Washington is really, really beginning to hit his stride. I mean, these guys are playing really well together. And look, all the UK fans that were just hitting the ceiling after the Duke game or after some of these early games where we struggled. Struggled at the first of the season. If you're not used to Cal's teams, young teams, struggling at the first of the season, where have you been since 2009 or 10?
It's always going to happen with young teams. They're going to go through ups and downs. Seems like they're hitting their stride right now. I didn't get to watch this game at all. I was at the All-A.
Yeah.
But, I mean, my question is, P.J. Washington, was he operating on the block or was he outside? It sounds like, for the big double-double, he's probably mostly operating on the block.
Yeah, I mean, he was a little bit of both. I mean, we've talked about before, we hate to see P.J. Washington try to dribble drive, try to put the ball on the floor and dribble. I mean, I love to see him work in the post. But we had, P.J. Washington with the double-double. We actually had three guys. Reed Travis also had an 18-point, 12-rebound double-double. And Keldon Johnson, 15 points, 10 rebounds. Then, Ashton Hagans had 12. Tyler Hero, pretty decent game. 6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So, I mean, he was out there. But this team looked really, really good against, a tough Kansas team. And then, the game before that, a tough Mississippi State team. So, those 2 wins in a row right there were huge for UK. Yeah. So, going into the rest of the season, I mean, I expect this team to only get better. And, we got Tennessee coming up down the road.
I mean, that's a huge one. That's the big one to circle next. I mean, but right now they've been meeting all expectations. They've been getting better. Seems like they're really playing together now. I think that's the big thing about this team right now is the chemistry is starting to come along.
Yeah, and we've suffered a couple of tough losses this year, but I think that's made this team better. And right now we're seeing the benefits of that. And I like this team obviously a lot more than I did at the first of the season, but the brand of basketball they're playing is just so much better. They're looking so much tougher, and we're getting points from guys we really need points from. We've talked about we need Tyler Hero. We need, Ashton Hagans. We're going to get it. And a lot of people are kind of considering this last game Reed Travis's coming out party. He played fantastic that game against Kansas. So, I mean, if we can get a game like this from those guys going forward against these tough teams, then we're going to be in every game we play.
Well, the thing that really sticks out to me about Reed Travis, he's that senior, he's that leader. But you also have Hagans, as you also mentioned. That's the point guard. You're getting the leadership there, too. So, I mean, those two guys really seem to be key because your point guard has to be a leader on the floor, and your senior has to be a leader in the locker room and set the example. It seems like the both of them are doing their roles right now, and that's a key thing for this team is to have leadership.
Yeah, and this team is just getting funner and funner to watch every game that goes by. So hopefully, we keep that rolling going into the rest of the tough SEC schedule, and then coming up this weekend we got Tennessee, we got Florida down the road, obviously. But that takes us right into, I talked to you a little bit about before the podcast started. The week before the Super Bowl, toughest weekend of the year for a sports fan. I mean, I was ended up just watching NBA basketball almost by default yesterday. But the Super Bowl is coming up this Sunday, so we've got lots of prop bets, lots of talking heads all over ESPN. Kind of bouncing back and forth. Are you still feeling Rams?
I'm still going to go Rams. I picked them to make the Super Bowl before the season started, so I'll still stick with them. Also, I'll be selfish a little bit, being a Bengals fan, hoping Zach Taylor, brings a little bit of that Super Bowl momentum to the Bengals next year. So, I'm going to stick with the Rams right now.
Yeah, me too. And, I just don't want to, personally as a football fan, I just don't want to see the Patriots win another one. Maybe that's whatever. Call it whatever you want to call it. I just don't want to see the Patriots and Bill Belichick win another one. And Tom Brady, as of yesterday, I think said 1,000% he is not going to retire regardless if he wins this Super Bowl. So odds are they'll probably be back again next year. You expect to see some kind of drop-off at some point. But to this point, it just hadn't happened. And I'm just looking forward to a good game.
The thing about the Brady and the Patriots is, it's watching greatness. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, all these years, 17 years later, they're still in the Super Bowl from when they started. I mean, the guy delivered. This is his setting. This is what he likes. This is what they play for. So, I'm not going to be shocked if they come out and just roll up the Rams, or if it's a close game and they find a way. Tom Brady has another game-winning drive. I wouldn't be shocked at that either. But, I mean, it's just a fun thing to sit back on. I just want to see a good game. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't have a team I'm rooting for or a player, so I just want to see a good game and be entertained.
Except for the likely next coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, which I don't think we got to really touch on it last time, but I'm a big fan of the Zach Taylor potentially being hired, which it looks like he's going to be the guy.
From everything I'm reading, it's just until the Super Bowl. They're just waiting because they've already went out and they've not announced it, but it looks like Jack Del Rio is going to be the defensive coordinator, which I love. Jack Del Rio as a defensive coordinator. Brian Callahan is going to come over as offensive coordinator. Two good hires there. Great momentum for a Bengals fan. A lot of excitement. The biggest thing for us is what's going to happen in the draft. But that's still a little bit of ways. So the Super Bowl right now is the main thing for me. And I'm looking forward to some great prop bets.
Yeah, looking forward to some great prop bets. Some of the ones I've seen already are the first song that Maroon 5 plays at halftime. A lot of money going around on those. The big one is always how long the national anthem, how many minutes it goes. If the first drive lasts longer than the national anthem, there's all kinds of fun prop bets if that's your thing. But one of the crazy things I was thinking about is to think from the first Super Bowl that the Patriots won to this one. They played the Rams, the St. Louis Rams before. The names that were in that Super Bowl, it almost seems like a lifetime ago. You're talking Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. I mean, it's crazy to think that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick that was the team that beat that team.
That's the only two constants in it. I mean, and the closest one is the kicker now. But at that game it was Vinatieri before they went on to Gostkowski. So I mean, the only two constants are Brady, Belichick. So.
Well, we'll definitely be looking forward to a good game that night. And I guess the last thing for the weekend was the college football Senior Bowl happened yesterday. A couple UK players playing in that, but I guess maybe the most interesting thing, which Cory, our producer, just brought up, was John Gruden pretty interestingly going around slapping Raiders helmets all over every player on the sideline, and that's definitely an interesting way to do a little recruiting, and hopefully some of those guys don't end up on just a sorry Raiders roster for next year. But that's what he did, made them all slap on Raiders stickers on their helmets.
I guess he's hoping all these guys don't get drafted and he can just sign them as free agents. I mean, I don't know the thinking there, if he's just having some fun or what. I didn't see it, so I don't know. But it just sounds like, it sounds like John Gruden being John Gruden.
It was definitely a John Gruden / Raiders move, but it seemed so ridiculous and corny and cringy. It was just very, very tough to watch. And same thing with the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl was just, they got to figure something out. They got to figure, that is not a game worth watching. I'd love to see the ratings on that game, because everything leading up to the Pro Bowl, like the skills challenge and stuff like that, is kind of interesting. But the game itself is just the worst football you will literally ever watch. It's a complete waste of time. But
there's nothing on the line with the Pro Bowl. I mean, what's the point of going out there and just throwing the ball around? Nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to get injured. There's no incentive to go out there and play hard. I mean, really, it's either scrapping it or finding some kind of new format. Which I don't know what the format would be to get players, unless you just award everybody on the winning team a bonus of $1 million. But then at the end of the day, how many of those guys still would even play hard for a bonus of $1 million or something like that?
And anymore, and it's been like this, I guess, for about 10 years, it's not necessarily the first team all NFL guys. No. Nobody that's playing in the Super Bowl is playing in it. No. At this point, nobody that's playing in the conference championship games really plays in it. They're really scratching the bottom of the barrel with the guys that end up playing in the Pro Bowl. But that was the sporting weekend. Listen, that was a tough weekend in sports. There's not much going on right before the Super Bowl, but we got the Super Bowl coming up. We want to say thank you again, and we appreciate everybody joining us for episode 13 of the Bank On It podcast. Be sure to give us a like, a comment, subscribe on YouTube, and be sure to share it with your friends. We'd really appreciate it. We want to say thank you again to all of our sponsors. Dr. Shane Hensley. Every athlete knows a good smile builds confidence. Dr. Shane Hensley at Downtown Dental in Pikeville can help build confidence. Visit Dr. Hensley at 419 Town Mountain Road or call 433-1488 and score the perfect smile. Dr. Hensley performs all dental work and accepts most insurance.
We're also brought to you by Presbyterian Homes Good Shepherd. Presbyterian Homes Good Shepherd is a long-term care facility located in Phelps, Kentucky. They offer skilled nursing services, therapy services, daily enriching activities, chaplain services, weekly housekeeping and laundry, an attractive dining area where menu options are offered to meet all dietary needs, all provided in a home-like environment. Call today for questions or to schedule a tour at 606-456-8725.
And thank you again to Presbyterian Homes on Cedar Creek. It's an assisted living facility in Pikeville, Kentucky, providing delicious dining, meaningful activities, thoughtful amenities, holistic health care, assistance with activities of daily living, all in a serene setting, faith-based and non-profit. Call Executive Director Jessica Thacker to schedule a tour at 606-432-8243.
We're also brought to you by City Tire Auto Center. City Tire has moved. Go visit the new location at 110 Freddie Lane, right off South Mail Trail, directly across from Pikeville, Florida. Call 437-3005. Thanks again to City Tire and all of our sponsors and everybody tuning in. Anything else you want to add, Russ?
Yeah, we just want to say thanks again to the sponsors and everybody who's liked and subscribed and watched the podcast over the last few weeks. We appreciate it. Just give us a like, a comment, maybe throw a subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you next week. Bank On It Podcast.